One, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please confirm if you can still hear me. You can type, you can use thumbs up, anyone. Confirm if you can still hear me. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. You're welcome. So first thing, I want you to celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself, clap for yourself. This is like majorly the last class for this analytics corpus workshop. Tomorrow is going to be like a party. You get, so you have come this far and you really deserve an applause. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Congratulations, congratulate yourself. Congratulations, Abidogun. Congratulations, Oluwaseun, Tawakalitu, Sylvester. Congratulations, congratulations. Congratulations, Ife. Congratulations, Oluwadara. Congratulations, Ebere. Congratulations. So today we'll be discussing something very amazing and nice. So I want you to come with me. Welcome to Analytics Corpus Workshop 3.0 class. So I'll quickly go through um, the ground rules. I believe we know what the ground rules are already. Punctuality, which I noticed that we didn't really do well today. I don't know why we have few number of people here. Have an open mind to learn. One class participation. If you need to speak or anything, just raise up your hand or you type it in the chat, and then I'll respond to it. Respect everybody. Ask questions. There will be space for questions after the class, so make sure that you note your questions down or just write it in the chat so that you don't forget. And mute automatically. Your mic is muted, so don't worry about that. And raise your hand before you speak. Once you raise your hand and you notify me, I'll make sure that I unmute you and then you can speak. So we'll be moving on now. Our time is fast spent. So my name is Akitonde Esther Iyanoluwa. I'm an operations manager at Second Wallet Nigeria Limited. Is a financial organization here in Ilorin. I have 2+ years experience in finance, marketing, and banking operations. I am a certified Power BI analyst, and then I can do data management and business process optimization. That's what I do currently. And last year, I was just like you. I'm an alumni of Analytics Corpus Workshop 2.0. So we'll be moving on to our guest today, our trainer today. Our trainer today is Warieta Gift Ejovoke. I'm not sure I got that right. I'm not sure I got that right. But please, a round of applause as
Got
I
it
read his
perfectly
bio.
right.
Sir, did I get it right?
Got it perfectly right. Yes, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm so proud of myself. I was going to ask you to pronounce it for me, but I got so occupied I could not do that. So I'm so sorry. So we are welcoming Warieta Gift Ejovoke. He's a senior associate, business performance and yeah, I'm so sorry, I can't really see well. Business performance and analytics at Office Business at Flutterwave. Is a senior data analyst and business process automation expert. He has 6+ years experience in data analysis across different sectors, including education, health, power and energy, consultancy, and fintech. He's a Microsoft certified data analyst and power platform specialist. He has trained over 3,000 people, both and corporate and individuals and in corporate settings. Is also a pioneer past faculty member at Ikeja Electric Data and Analytics School. He is also versed in other skills apart from data analytics, including web development, video editing, database administration. That's a lot. Like that's a lot. So please applause, 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 applause. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please keep clapping. Keep clapping. He had to like put a lot in place for him to be here today. So keep clapping, celebrating. Amazing. So, sir, are you ready? You can have the floor
Yes,
now.
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Esther. And thank you so much, everyone on this call. I want to start by saying congratulations. Okay, don't mind those little biography. I believe some of us here too on this call. In the nearest future, you'll be doing amazing well. Okay, so please confirm you can hear me. Um, can you hear me, Esther?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. I can hear you
Okay, so
clearly.
thank you so much. So basically today, what we're going to be doing is venturing into an interesting world of data. Okay, in what we refer to as Fabric, Microsoft Fabric. So the fabric we're going to be talking about is not the cloth you wear, but it's an amazing area when it comes to data analytics. And I'm going to try as much as possible to minimize the talk. Okay. Won't be sharing any slides for now, you know, but I'll try as much as possible to ensure that what we have today is hands-on practical. And if I heard Esther correctly, during the introduction, she said today is more or less like our last session in the analytics Corper 3.0. So I want to start by saying congratulations to every one of you. Okay, so well done. You guys have done so well. And if you are so proud of yourself, can you use the icon? Can you use the emoji icon just to use your favorite emoji just to congratulate yourself? It's what's celebrating. Okay. Now, I won't take most of the time, so let me just quickly introduce. I don't think I can share my screen. I'm not enabled. Esther, can you check?
I'll check that now, sir.
Okay. So I believe before now, some of you are already familiar with Power BI. Please, I always like my sessions to be very interactive. Okay. You can always use the chat section and let's communicate. Okay, so we're doing it together. Okay, thank you, Temitokpe. Okay, that's good. So because we're going to be leveraging on some of those knowledge that has been gotten, during your time learning Power BI. Okay, okay, thank you so much. I can see now that I could share my screen. So let me just quickly share my screen. Please, guys, confirm you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Yeah, if you can see my screen, just type.
Yeah,
Um,
I can
yeah,
see,
that's good.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing with us some details about Fabric, Microsoft Fabric. So Microsoft Fabric is one of those amazing, will I say, invention or innovation by Microsoft, especially in the data space, a big game changer, in the field of data analytics, giving us endless possibility in terms of what we could do, with data, because the Microsoft Fabric platform gives us an avenue to be able to do an end-to-end data, management. When we talk about data management, we talk about the governance part of data, we talk about the analytical part of data, we talk about where we maximize data, in machine learning to also do some artificial intelligence, build some artificial intelligence solutions. So for us in the data space, this is actually a big game changer, not just because of things that have been integrated into Microsoft Fabric, but the fact that it enhances collaboration. One of the major challenges sometimes that people in the data space have is the issue of collaboration. Trying to collaborate, on different tools. So with Microsoft Fabric, everyone in the data space can actually collaborate together, manage the data, end to end. So it's more or less like an end to end data platform that contains features like data governance, AI powered analytics, um, real time data pipelines. As you can see in my screen, one of those beautiful things that I so much love is this, maybe I'll call it maybe trigger phrases, all your data in one location, organize, collaborate, and create. Okay. I know some of us are already familiar here, even not all of us, with Power BI. But in addition to Power BI, which is a visualization tool, we also have other tools like factory, data activator, real-time intelligence, like I said earlier, ability to build data warehouse. Now, why do I say this is an absolute game changer in the data space? In the data space, we have uh, different kind of professionals. We have the data governance specialists, data governance experts, um, who handles things that has to do with data privacy, sometimes data quality, ensuring that the integrity of data is made, is held, with high esteem. Because as data analysts, if you are analyzing a data that is not well purified, that is not clean, you are absolutely going to be driving the business in a negative direction, because every decision you're going to make from that data is going to be having issues. Okay, so data governance people can also help collaborate, with every stakeholders, like the data scientists. So we have tools for data scientists, which they can use to build models, to build, machine learning models that are very important for businesses. You also have the data analysts who can also make use of Power BI and some other tools to be able to make life better. You also have the data engineer. Okay, very amazing set of people who are always, in the front end, trying to ensure that as a data analyst, you have data that you can actually make use of. So it's an amazing tool. Okay, so I don't know if anyone has any question at this time. If you understand what I've said so far, because I just want to give us a preview, then we're going to the business of the day. If it's clear, if you understand, you can just type letter Y or use your favorite emoji, so that I can see that we understand clearly everything I'm saying. So if it's clear, if you understand what I've said, please, you can just signify with an emoji. If you have a question, you can put it in the chat room. I'm going to try as much as possible, within a short time, to see how you could derive value from this amazing tool. Like I said, it's an absolute game changer. Okay, so we have the data engineers. Thank you so much, uh, Bushola and yeah, Oluwaseun, yeah, Damilola. Thank you so much, everyone. So for you as a data engineer is someone that helps you to be able to have your data available, at every point in time, building pipelines, collating data from different sources into maybe a warehouse, for you that's going to be using the data, to have it. So in this Microsoft Fabric, all those collaboration are going to be possible. So, but for our case study today, I'm going to show us a little bit of some of the things you can do, even if you are not a data engineer, to be able to use data. Okay, so I'm going to be showing us how you can be able to build, some simple maybe pipelines using the lake house, and how we can connect our lake house to uh, Power BI to be able to do some visualization. Okay, so let's go. Please, at any point in time, Esther, if because I can't see my screen fully now, if there are any issue, you can draw my attention. Okay, thank
All
you
right,
so much.
do that.
Yeah, thank
I'll do
you.
that.
And if there are questions in the chat room, I'll also draw my attention. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with um, data now. There are different ways you can bring data, different ways you can actually ingest data. So let's quickly go to Data Factory and see what we can do. But before going, I don't know, I don't want to assume, um, does everyone here have Microsoft, you have access to Microsoft Office 365? If you do, say why. If you don't, say N. So maybe we should start from there. Okay, yeah, Sylvester, do you want to ask a question? Okay, I guess your emoji. So please, can you use, okay, no, 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 no. Okay, 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 please bring it up because it's very important, because we want to just do some little hands-on. But for all of you saying no, do you have um you have your Power BI? You can access your Power BI. If you can access your Power BI, let me see. Can access Power BI service. Yes, if you can access your Power BI service, okay. So maybe we'll start from there. So okay, so let's start from here. So what I want you to do, go to app.fabric. I'm going to share the link, .microsoft.com. Yeah, so we have Power BI desktop and we also have Power BI service. So whenever you're done with your analysis, you always publish into the cloud so that you can share your project, you can share your work for others to see. Okay, so that's the environment I'm referring to, because it's possible you just build your dashboards, you build your reports within your desktop, but no one can see it. Okay, so I'm asking for as many of us that have that. Okay, so if you have that, then it means you can easily have the fabric. So just go to this website. Okay, so if you can see my screen, you see I'm on that particular link I shared with us. Put in your email, the email you use for your maybe your Power BI service, and you just submit. So it's going to check if you need to create an account, or if the account you have currently can go. Okay, so you can do this. Then for others, if you are here, I'm just going to show us, then I will rush. Okay, I'm also going to rush it since there's going to be a video. It's possible for us to see now. if you can access your Power BI, you are used to this environment, you can go to your accounts and you should see maybe Fabric for you to try Fabric. You see it somewhere around your profile. All you need to do is to click it, to test. Once you're able to click it, test it, it is going to open up that environment I shared with us initially. Or if you use this other method and you register, you can create an account for your Fabric. Is there anyone that has been able to create that? Please just let me know. Just use a Y or use an emoji so that we could proceed. Okay, thank you, Habib. Okay, just Habib. I need like 2 more persons, then we could proceed. Okay, Habib, are you raising up your hand so you can speak? You have a question? Yeah, thank you, Abdul Latif. So, Habib, are you trying to ask a question? Please go ahead quickly.
So actually, there is supposed to be like a session where they will ask questions after the class when you are done. But if you prefer them to ask it now, I can unmute so that it just does not distract you. We prefer that they just type it in the type chat box, then we can attend to it when you're done. Hello, can we hear me?
Yes, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's very fine because we don't have
Okay.
much time.
So
Thanks a
Abi,
lot.
please, if you have any question, just type it in the chat immediately, and then I'll respond to it. If I need to call him back, I'll just tell him about it. Abib, can you hear us? You can continue, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So I've come back to my Fabric. So let me just do a little data engineering. So when I click this, I'm going to do a lake house. So your lake house helps you to be able to organize your data. So it's more like a reservoir for you. Okay. When you come to your lake house, if you do not have maybe a workspace because you just created yours, it's going to prompt you to create a workspace on Fabric. So I'll just click on my lake house. So let me click. So I'll just call this training. Oh, so the environment we're in is sort of similar to it's sort of similar to your Power Query in Power BI. You want to ingest in data. So there are different ways you can ingest data. You can ingest, by uploading the file. If you have the file, you can do some sample data. There are some sample data that we have, but I don't want to add that. We have sample data. You could also use your new shortcuts. A new shortcut will actually take you to an environment where you can actually connect to some external sources like Amazon, your Google Cloud, or your internal OneLake. OneLake. So let's assume I want to connect. I want to ingest data from Google Cloud. All I need to do is to click on Google Cloud. You wait for it to start, put in all your details for connection, similar to what you do in your Power Query whenever you want to ingest data in your Power BI. So you do your necessary connections, okay? And that's all. So initially I clicked on sample data, which gave me this, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use this for now. So I'll just show you how to import the data. So let's do that of importing a simple CSV. So I'll just click on get data, go to upload files. So I'm choosing a sales. So I'm trying to import a sales data, which is in CSV. Then I'll click on upload. So in case I want to overwrite sales, should I have it within my lakehouse? All I need to do is to click on overwrites, then upload. So once you upload, you automatically have it stored within your file. So let me close this. So you have it in your file. So when you come to your lake house, you have tables and you have files. Okay, so your files is where you see most of those imported um, files. Your imported files can be a JSON, can be a CSV, okay, can be a packet. Okay, but what I uploaded right now is sales .csv. You can see the time. All I need to do is to click and just have a review. Okay. So this is the review of it. You can see it's a comma separated value. Now, for you to be able to use it in your Power BI, okay, because at the end of the day, we need to connect our lakehouse to our Power BI. You do not need it in this form. You need to convert it to a table. Okay, so you need to move it from this file to a table, the same way you do your transformation in Power BI, your Power Query. Okay, so all I need to do is just to go to Files, then hover around the triple dots, click on it, then you will see Load to Tables. So because this is a new table, I will click New Table. If it's an existing table, I'll click Existing Table. And you'll be asked some questions. What is the name of the table? Are you trying to overwrite a previous table or you want to append to that table? So append means you are adding more records. Okay, so you just answer those questions, ensuring that what you are adding has same column so that you don't encounter error. Okay, but for us, we are adding it as a new table. So new table. So by default, it's going to take in your table name, the CSV file name that you ingested. Now, you need to click on this checkbox so that you can use the header as the column name. So your file, your CSV file has a header. So that first row is going to be used as your header. So next thing to do is to click on load. So just take a little while. So there are different formats. Remember, I said Fabric is a game changer. Now, one of the things people can do easily here, unlike Power BI, although in Power BI you can still do that, you can use Python, you can use Notebook. If you are someone that is very conversant with your Jupyter Notebook, for scraping data, for cleaning data, you can actually introduce it here. So we're going to do a little demo. I'll just teach us something very simple. Python. Python is something that if you want to advance in your data analytics space, you could learn it. And data for analytics is not too difficult. Okay, so I'm just going to introduce us again to some simple data. But in the meantime, this is our sales. Now, our sales has been converted to table. Remember when we loaded it, it was just a simple CSV. So right now, this is available for use. It's available for measures and other things. So let me quickly ingest another table, but this time around, we're going to ingest a table from the web. Okay, so we're going to use this. So I'm ingesting from this web. So I'm ingesting from this website. Okay. So on that website, what we see there is United Nations, population information, as at this period, 2022 and 2023, July 1 and July 2023. And you can also see other columns like you are trying to change the change in population. You're also trying to check the UN continental regions. So we can scrape this. Imagine you need this data to analyze. Like I said, a data engineer, someone that is very vast, with different tools, or a data scientist can easily make use of Fabric, and do all the Python, skills, Python stuff the person wants to do without going to use Jupyter. So before now, what happens is that you have the different stakeholders within the data space operating kind of in isolation, not within the same environment, using different, third parties. At the end of the day, find a way to harmonize. But with Fabric, you can do everything within Fabric. I don't need to have a Python installed on my system because I'm working on the cloud. Okay. So I'll just show us how to do that. How do I extract all this data? Someone on this call will be wondering, wow, I've never done that. This may be very difficult to do, but let's just see. I'll explain along in simple formats. Now we have two tables. The first table is the public holiday, which was loaded automatically as a sample, when we came into Lakehouse. We also have sales, which by we imported using our CSV. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to see how we can use Python to extract data from the web, which I just showed us. So quickly, all I need to do is to go to Open Notebook. So Open Notebook is going to give me that environment where I can easily do my work. So I'm creating a new notebook. So new notebook. Okay, just give it a while to load. Now, everything I'm doing, I'm still doing within the Lakehouse. I can change the name by default because I have other notebooks. So this one is called Notebook 3, but I can customize the name so that it will be easy for me to recognize. So I'm going to call this country population. Oh, let me see. Country population web scraping. So what I want to do is web scraping. So when we talk about web scraping, some of you must have learned it when you were doing your Power BI. You're trying to extract from the web. Okay, it's not a CSV file. Okay, but this is a little bit going to be different. So I'll just call this country population web scraping notebook so that I know it's a notebook. The save. So I'm going to commence writing. So I could wipe all these. Okay. So the first thing you do when you're using Python is basically to import libraries. Libraries are very important. Okay. Libraries helps you to be able to perform certain tasks within the Python environment. So I'm going to import some specific libraries that are very key, in what I'm going to be doing. So for web scraping, so let me just put a hash. So you use hash to do command, like to make a comment. Okay, so hash is a comment. So when I run this code, it's not going to run. So yeah, I'll just write import import required libraries. Libraries. So for me, most times, I mistakenly ran it. Okay. I don't want to run it. So for me, most times I like to put comments on my script so that anytime I get back to it, it's easy for me to understand. So let me just import. So I'm importing import requests. I'm also going to import pandas. So pandas is a tool that helps you do some um, be able to read files, something. You also use it to clean data. So whenever you want to clean your data, you want to do what we refer to as EDA, explore your data, you need pandas. So I import pandas as PD. So most times, sorry. So most times we usually call it PD. So the PD is just a shortcut. So instead of always calling pandas, okay, from the back end, I'll just say PD. So whenever I say PD, I'm also referring to my pandas. The another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import beautiful soup. So beautiful soup is one of Python amazing library that helps you to be able to extract data, from a website. So I'm going to uh, get this from my BS4. From my BS4, I'm going to import my beautiful soup. So okay, I have it here. Beautiful soup. So all I need to do is to run. I can use Control Enter, or if you're using MacBook, Command Return, or you can just click on the play button to run it. Okay, so I've run this first one. So the next thing is for me to run another one. So I'm going to be running it bit by bit. The next thing I want to do, I want to identify the URL, identify the website. Let me just call it website, the website to script form. So I'll give it a name URL. So the URL I'm writing is just a variable. Remember when you were doing DAX, if you are old school like me, you sometimes want to create variables, within your measures. So those variables is similar to what I'm doing here. My variable here is URL. So I'm saying URL is equal to the website. So I'm going to just quickly pick that website. So this is the website. So whenever I call upon URL, so it's going to understand that I'm actually referring to that particular website, So all this tagging is to prevent, always repeating some certain words. So I'm going to enter this. So by running the script, I've identified that name. So the next thing I'm going to quickly do, because of our time, I'm going to now get a response. Okay. So let me just, because of time, uh, so I'm going to call this response. So using my beautiful soap, I'm going to use request. So this is where I need my request. So one beautiful thing about this Python, which is PySpark, is the fact that it's intelligence. It can suggest for you so that you don't even waste time. So I'm going to do get URL. Okay, so when I get URL, the next thing I want to do is for me to now use my beautiful soap to make what is going to read easy. So let me quickly go back to the website and show you something. So I can check the website coding that was used to build this. If I go this way, right click and I click on view page sources, I'm going to see all these codes, like jargons, you may call it. Okay, so what I'm going to use Beautiful Soup is to be able to identify this environment and help me to extract, easily. So let me just quickly go back. So that's what I use response to do. So now I'm going to use my soup. So you can call it any variable, but most times a lot of us want to refer to it as soup. So my beautiful soup, oh, beautiful soup, get response, mark response, get response dot text. Then I'm going to pass it through an HTML dot parser. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, okay, let me just run this first of all, then we will understand. So let me run this. Now, let me see if I can identify the soup. So I'm going to quickly write an R script. Let me call this print. Let me print the soup. So if you look at what I ran now, I wanted to see the value of what is in the soup. The soup, what it did for me is it brings the HTML version of that website. Okay, so on the HTML version of that website, we have what we are interested in getting, which is the what we're interested in getting is actually the table. So there's a table that has a label there that we're also trying to find. So I'm going to extract that. So let me see if I could quickly show you guys that. Let me just see. I know we don't have much time. So right click, if I go to inspect, I can be able to see parts of these things. If I click on this and come here, I can see the tables. If I move around, so the table is somewhere around here. So the table is somewhere down. Okay, so this is the table. If you can see my screen, so the table has a class. Okay, so what I'm going to use Beautiful Soup to do is to actually identify this particular environment. So let me quickly go back. So, okay, is that environment I want to get. Now I'm going to quickly write another code, which is table. So my table is equal to the soup. So I want to find a table. So I want to find a code called table, an HTML code, which the web developer used. It's called table, but not just table. I need to find the class because there might be different class. If you go into that particular inspect that we did, we actually had class. So I'm going to look for the class. So I'll call it class. Okay. So the class I'm looking for, one of the common thing I could see there was Wikipedia, I think, wiki table. Okay, wiki table. Okay, so I could see wiki table within it. So all I need to do is to enter. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to be able to use my pandas to create a kind of data frame. Okay, so a data frame is more like a table. So I'm going to use pandas to create that data frame. But in case you're interested in seeing the result of this table, I'll just quickly use print. So in Python, print is used to display a variable. If like calling a variable, you want to see what a variable holds. So a variable more like a container. Okay, so let's just see what this variable holds. So right now, out of all these HTML codes, it was able to extract the table. So you can see this is the table. You extract the table code, but I'm not interested in that table code. I'm interested in making this a real readable table. So I'm going to create a data frame making use of pandas. Okay. So I'll just call my data frame DF, okay, to symbolize data frame. So my data frame is going to be PD, which is pandas, then read HTML. Okay, so if you look at my screen, you can read CSV, you can read Excel, but because I'm dealing with a website, I'm going to be reading HTML. So you can read different things. So I'm going to read HTML. Let me just, okay. So the HTML, I'm going to take a string out, take out all the string, then table. Okay, so the table I'm going to get is on 0. So I've run this right now. Okay. So it's still fabric, Habib. We're still doing fabric. Okay. So fabric has different components. Okay. The major thing you do in fabric is just to do some kind of collaborations. We are only trying to get data, want to ingest data because you can't analyze without having a data. So I've shown us how to ingest, by uploading. Okay, I'm just showing us other things you could do. So maybe I'm trying to initiate you, Abib, into um, looking at the possibility someday to want to learn Python. Okay, and that's why I'm just using something very simple to understand. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, let me just run a code for me to see what is inside my data frame. Remember, what I did before now is just to read read that particular HTML in a simple English. So I'm going to say print. So in Python, you use print to display something. So I'm going to say head. So what I'm doing by head is I just want it to display maybe the first 5 rows. Okay, it's like a preview. So you can see now it's making sense. We no longer have our HTML again. All those HTML is gone. You can see the table now. But one of the things that you now need at this point is to now make this thing look better. So if I want to show you another way, if I click on display, DF, you will now see it. You can now see that table is now shown here. Oh, sorry, guys. So you can now see that table. The table is now showing clear, just as you have it within your Power Query. Okay, so I'm using my lakehouse just to collate different data. And if you eventually maybe want to save it, you could also save it. I'll just show how to save it. Just write another code, df dot. So my df is going to be dot. I want to save it. Maybe you want to save it as CSV. Or you want to save it. Remember, it's from website. You want to save it as CSV. You want to save it as Excel. You can do that. But I'm going to just save this as CSV dot to CSV, comma, what's the name of my file? Let me just call it country uh, country population. The next thing I'm going to do, index equal to false. Okay, so you now have a data that you can now import into your lakehouse. But quickly, let's go to our lakehouse. Let's go back to our lakehouse. And now do what we wish to do, which is sales. So I want to open up sales. So for me to now do my analysis, okay, I don't know why this is not showing. Okay, so for me to now quickly do my analysis, you could do different things. So what's this coming up? So I have this, my DF that I've already saved before. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to get on and connect my data. Okay, so I can connect my data to my Power BI. So let's quickly go. Let's quickly go to. Let me go back to Fabric. No, sorry. Okay, I have all those my guys. So let me quickly open this guy here. Sorry, I'm trying to open up. I can't even remember the name of. Okay, I called it training. Okay, so I have my sales. So you could also have more stuff. So all I need to do, come to my lake house. Okay, I'll click on SQL Analytics endpoints. So in your SQL Analytics endpoint, you're going to see everything similar to your Power Query. Like your Power Query, you can add column, you can add in your measures, you can do your modeling. So let's just quickly preview. Come up. No, it's taking time. So meanwhile, you have model. This model is similar model that you have within the similar model that you have within your normal desktop. Okay. So you can see, for example, you can see the sales. You can see even the defaults. Okay, so I've not put any default. So we have sales. So the next thing I want to do, probably I want to do a new report. Okay. Or I could decide that I want to maybe just from here now, just do my report. All I need to do is just to click on my report. Why is this mouse misbehaving? Okay, so because of time, I will not be able to show you much, but just click on reports. So when you click on reports, this is going to take you to a Power BI looking kind of environment, similar to what you do on desktop Power BI. Okay, but in this scenario, but in this our scenario, we are making use of the what we're making use of now is the online Power BI. So we'll just build our report in the online, but let me just show you some of things we imported. So let's say I click on table. So if I go to this, my sales, let me say I want to pick, let me see item. So because we are familiar with Power BI, I will not be able, I won't be seeing too much within this environment. But this is similar to your desktop. Now, what we've just done basically is we've used Lakehouse as a point of collating data sources. So both whether it's a data engineer or a data analyst, you can arrange all your data clean within the Lakehouse so that at the end of the day, you can now connect it down to your Power BI service without necessarily opening your Power BI desktop. So what I'm just doing now is just maybe it's just a simple analysis. Now, because of time, I didn't go into doing DAX or doing any measures. You can actually do your measures within your model, okay, before coming to this place. You can do all your basic analysis that you can think of, all your charts that you want to do. But the goal here is you guys already understand how Power BI works. Do you understand? But it's to understand how you can actually maximize Microsoft's Fabric to do much more, than what you do right now. Like I told us earlier, a data scientist can collaborate with you and you build machine learning models that can be used to do predictive analysis while you are busy doing your visualization. They can help improve your visuals because even in Power BI, you can import, you can create Python driven dashboard. On your Power BI, you can put in AI embedded, information, provided your model is well built. So those are the basic things that I just want us to, get used to in this environment. Okay. So because of time, I'll be stopping here. You can use your filter and do all things you want to do. Let me say I want to do top N, maybe top 5 based on unit price. Same thing that you do. You can add your filters, which is your slicer. At the end of the day, you save your report. It's going to ask you the name of the report. I'll just call this testing. So I didn't do much visual because the emphasis here is not about visualization. So what we've just done is maximizing one part of Fabric, which is the lake house. There are other things you can do. You can build in pipeline that auto refreshes. For example, you are working on a data that always change. Let's say the Nigerian currency, foreign exchange currency. You can actually build a pipeline and set a trigger that every morning update this data, and you go ahead and build your dashboard or your report. Once that time comes in, everything is automatically updated. You don't have restriction of the kind of data, whether your data is in JSON format, whether your data is in SharePoint, anywhere it is, you can easily build your data solution end to end. So thank you so much, guys. I'll just stop here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gibbs. Thank you, Gibbs. Thank you. Thank you so much. You really shared a lot, and I'm sure it's deep. Some people are still even trying to digest it. I hope we we understood everything he mentioned. So please, let's celebrate our trainer. Let's celebrate him. Celebrate. Keep the claps coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. So now, if you have any question, I would love you to raise up your hand. Yes, Oluwaseun Mobolaji, you have a question. Does anybody else have a question? Or you want to clarify anything that you don't understand? Okay, Abib, good. So, Calypso, I'm just seeing your text. You start from somewhere. You start from somewhere. All right. So, I'm coming. I'll try to unmute Abib now. So, Abib, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Good afternoon, sir. Good evening.
Hi, Abib.
Okay. Wow. The
Before you
Python,
continue,
I've heard of
I'm
Python
sorry
before.
for dragging you. Sorry.
No problem, sir. Uh, what I want to ask now is because by learning or understanding the Power BI fabrics, this will allow us to do more on Power BI fabrics, which is an online platform for Power BI instead of the Power BI desktop. But
Absolutely.
what I understand now is Power BI is owned by Microsoft. What about Python? Is Python also owned by Microsoft? Because the relationship. I just want to understand how we could work with Python on Microsoft Fabrics.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if that will be all for your question.
That'll be all.
Okay, so one beautiful thing about Microsoft. So this is not me just trying to just say what I don't know, okay, or just trying to praise them, maybe because they pay me money. The truth is that Microsoft so far in the world is an organization that has gone very deep into trying to meet everyone's need, be it automation, be it data. So they understand the business need that they just want to solve solutions. So whatever it takes for them to just enhance features, they do that almost every now and then. Even if you check your Power BI, you'll notice that almost every 3 quarter, there's always an update. There's an additional feature, because they're also taking feedback. So what we are making use there is Python is just a language. Do you understand? It's just like HTML. I could write an HTML that will probably solve some of my problem. Does not mean it's someone that owns what I'm doing. I'm just using the tool. Do you understand? Where you use it on differs. For example, we have Anaconda that can be used. We also have the traditional Python, but here we're making use of like PySpark. If you check, is PySpark, which is built on Python. So Python is just a language, just to enable you to achieve your results. I don't know if I answered your
Okay.
question.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope that is clear.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you. So you can mute your mic now. Some people raise their hands, and I think I've unmuted them.
I can say Abdul Bas.
IL Ladi something. I've made you able. I've like unlocked now. So if you still have your question, you can ask now. I can't pronounce your name properly, but Ladi, I can see Ladi. Do you still have your question, or you have gotten clarity already? I guess it's not ready yet. What about?
Hello.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for today's class. Yeah, this is my first time of learning about Fabric. So I have some couple of questions to ask.
Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is that, are you always going to be needing Python anytime you want to work on Fabric?
No.
And again, okay, and again, is data scraping the only thing we can do with Fabric, or what are the other practical use cases of Fabrics as a data
Okay.
analyst?
Okay. So basically, one of the things that the data analyst does majorly is just to generate insight from data. And
Yes.
in addition to generating insight, trying to communicate that insight, with pictures, with visuals. Okay. That's
Yes.
the major thing you do. But again, we live in an environment where sometimes you need to have knowledge of some of the others, what the other stakeholders do, because it's
Yes.
going to help you in your stakeholders, engagement. You don't necessarily need to be a data engineer for you to understand what a data engineer does. Because the truth is that in the real world, sometimes you may have some frictions, where there's a delay because you are more like the face of the business to direct the business in the direction they should go. If someone maybe from data engineer is delaying in terms of deploying some pipelines. So what I mean by pipelines is those tools that will help you get your data. If it's something you could do, maybe you have little knowledge of, is an added plus. And sometimes you might work with someone that may not also be as vast as you are. You can also tell the person, okay, this data that we've been stressing ourselves trying to collect, why not we just scrape it from the web? For example, like I said earlier, we talked about the constant change in the forex, Nigeria and dollar. You know, so instead of always waiting, maybe at the end of the week, you want to get one report from somewhere that will help you monitor and inform the business. They can scrape that data. You understand? The data engineer can scrape that data. Most of them actually know how to use Pythons. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, and the last question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, as a data analyst,
Yeah.
because where I currently serve now, or like from my experience,
Yeah.
data is not always available. Like the same way we always have in this, like in courses and in tutorials, that you're going to have the data readily available. Even like sometimes, like you might have to, cause like currently, like recently, I had to even learn VBA to design it like a data entry system. So apart from like, is there any solution on fabrics that enables you to get data, maybe like data that change frequently?
Yeah. Slow changing dimensions. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, we have different tools here. You can see synapses. You can see the data engineering. Okay, data warehouse. So when we talk about data warehouse, it's more or less like that big storage where a lot of data aggregated from different places are stored. Do you understand? So usually it's the work of a data engineer to ensure that every pipelines are maintained, you know, data readily available. That's why I said, with Fabric, it's easy for all the data stakeholders to be able to maximize data, maintain data. We have the data governance. And one of the things data governance do is to ensure that all possible data that are needed to day-to-day activity are available, because part of what is in the data governance framework, it's not just only available, it is clean, it is usable. Do you understand? So they also use Fabric to be able to monitor this, to be able to check this. So at the end of the day, those challenges you sometimes may have may not necessarily be there again. Now, if you are referring to data entry tool, there's nothing like a data entry tool here. Okay, they are more like collecting data from different sources. You can connect data to a third party like a CRM. Do you understand? You can connect to
Yeah.
any external sources within the environment so that your
Okay.
data is always available. Okay, but time did not permit me. I would have shown you how pipelines are built so that it's always available. And when it's not available, you can always get triggers that, oh,
Okay.
a pipeline, there's an issue and stuff like that. Yeah.
So then, please, can you recommend resources for us to continue our learning on this?
Okay. Yes, I'll recommend my very good friend, Microsoft Learn. Let me see if I could even get that and share
Okay, thank you.
Microsoft Learn. So you can go to Google Microsoft. I'm trying to get that now. Microsoft Learn on Fabric. It's going to show you everything here you need to
Okay.
know. Okay. I'm sharing that. Yeah, so I always recommend the learning modules in Microsoft because it's step by step. And when there's a change in their product or features, they always update those tutorials. It's the best way to learn, even your Power BI. After you've learned the general, also find time to build yourself up again and again.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. So we have
Thank you.
questions
Sorry, do you know
in
I don't
the
really
chat.
like the word sir? It makes me feel so old.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Just call me
sorry.
Gift. Better.
Okay, thank you, Gift.
Yeah.
So we have questions in the chat, and I will just read it out. From Joy Chiwendu. So my question is, in Fabric, especially the PySpark, can one upload or read data from their local machine?
Yes. The first data we ran, which is the sales data, is from my local machine. You can even connect to your Google. Do you understand? Your local machine. You can connect to your drive. Yes, you can connect to any data source.
All right.
So either you
All right.
upload it or you just connect to the source and get it here.
All right. Joy, I hope you got that. Also, there's another question from Tawa Kalitu. She said in sharing her reports on the Power BI Microsoft Fabric, is asking her for embedded code creation. So she's asking
Okay.
for clarity
Okay.
on that.
Okay. So let me quickly just answer that. So this embedded code creation, it has its own advantage. Okay, a great advantage. Now, when you are sharing, so there are two ways you can share either an embedded code, or excuse me, let me quickly see if I have something I could share. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So ideally, when you want to share, ideally within an organization, because of security, you are meant to come to this place where I click. Just click on share. When you click on share, you have different options. So I'll click show you. You have people in the organization, people with existing access and specific. You can set whether you want to allow them to share the reports. Now, this is the ideal standard if you are working within an organization, okay? Basically for data security purpose. Now, what you did, if I'm not mistaken, you came to share, to file. Now, for those of you that are building projects, you're trying to build your portfolio, I will advise you, you come to embed. So you click on your embed reports. Okay. So let me say publish to web. Now, in your publish to web, okay, why you need to use your public to web is that you want anyone in the world to be able to have access. Sometimes you see people, maybe on LinkedIn, on is it what they call it now? Not Instagram, and Twitter, yeah, on Twitter, showcasing their work. What they just did was they came to this file, then you come here, you publish. Okay, I've disabled this. But when you click on that publish, you see that embed code. In the embed code, there are two types there. Okay, one of them is going to give you something like an HTML code. The first one is going to give you a link. So you can proceed and just copy that link and publish. Okay, there is no problem. The embed code, what it does for you, unfortunately, I don't know if you guys have time. Let me see if I could share something with you quickly. So what you use the embed code? Let me say you have a website. Um, Let me say you have a website and you want to embed it within so that anyone that visits your website can easily just take a look at that code. Then you use the embed code because we have the embed and we have the link. So let me show you an example of where I use embed code within this place. I hope time be fast. Okay, so let me just share an example. So I'm going to use this. Okay, so I'm scrolling now. If you notice, you are not within a Microsoft environment. You are within my website. Okay, within my website, I'm giving you an opportunity to look at my dashboard. So this kind of thing that you've seen now is what we call embed code. So you only use embed code if you want to attach it within a website. So that maybe instead of giving the person the link, I can easily give you my website link or your Medium or your Notes Netflix account. So depend on where you keep your portfolio. Okay, you can easily just go there, and do whatever you want to do, so that people can easily see. So that's what embed code mean? I don't know if I'll be able to answer your question.
All right, Kawakalitu, is that clear? Should I unmute you to ask further, or was that what you were asking about? Please reply in the chat. Okay, all right, I'll do that right away. Please raise up your hand so that I can quickly recognize you. Thank you very much. I'm waiting for that. Kawakalitu, kindly raise up your hand. That makes it easier. Okay, I've seen it. Thank you. So, yes, you can speak now. You can speak now.
Good afternoon, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening.
I'm still unable to leave that place. It's telling me to contact my admin to enable embed code creation.
Okay, yeah.
So,
So if you notice what I tried to embed within this, when I shared my screen earlier, I couldn't because I disabled that particular user that I'm using for this, because I'm the admin of the environment. So now it depends. I don't know what account you are using. Was it created by you? Is it an organizational account,
no,
or
it's an individual account.
is an individual account? Okay, so all you
Yes,
need
sir.
to do, let me see if I can show you what you should do. So let me show you what you should do. So if you can see my screen, just come to setting. Then you come to Power BI setting. I'll come to my general.
Power BI setting, general.
Yes, general. Then you see, I'm using the wrong account. But when you go there, under your general, you will
Okay.
see different options. You will see embed. Currently, your embed code is not on.
Under general.
Yes. If you could share your screen, that would be fine.
I'm using my phone.
Okay. But it's something you can check later, or you can also Google it on Microsoft. You will see it. So you just need to set it so that it will enable you to do that.
Okay, is it under general? I'm going to see that, sir.
Yes, you see it under general. Yes, you will see
I'm only
list of
seeing.
options. Okay, you're only seeing
Sorry.
what?
Under the general,
Yeah.
I'm only seeing language, privacy, and close account, just like yours.
Okay, what are you using? Which of the Power BI license are you using?
I am not so familiar with that term. I created more like a work account.
Yeah. Okay, so apart from general, what other thing do you have?
I have Outlook account. I have an Outlook account.
No, I seen on where you are right now, you can see general. What's the other thing you can see?
Okay, I have notifications, item setting, developer setting.
Okay. So if you click on your profile, what
Okay.
license is this showing you? I want to know. Are you on Fabric or
Okay.
you're on
I
the
want to check.
normal? Yeah,
A free account.
a free account.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We might not be able to handle this within the call. I'll just advise you to check. Is there what I'm using here is a Fabric account that I locked, so I won't be able to see that right now. And who knows, maybe they've updated it, but let me check. it's not there. Tell notification. It's not here. I can see it. Okay. So you may probably just need to search, just check online, but
Yes,
it's supposed to be there. But just unfortunately, I don't have much time to maybe look at your screen and sort that issue. But it's an issue with your embedded code is actually disabled. So that
okay, sir.
just what happened here. Just call me
Thank you very
Gift.
much.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate.
All right, you can share a screenshot of your screen later on the group chat, and then we can probably look into it together. So I think that will be all. Do we still have any other questions? We should be able to round up the class now. I guess that will be all. I guess that will be all. Abdul Basit, do you still have a question? Abdul Basit.
I hope I don't take people to places they don't want to go to this evening. I'm sorry if I did.
It's fine. It's all part
Yeah,
of the learning process.
I
We'll
think
capture ourselves back. It's all part of the learning process. Abdul Basit, if you okay, you've put down your hand. Okay, that's good. So thank you so much, Gift Warrior. God bless you. Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing so much. Please, can we celebrate our trainer today? Let's celebrate him. Thank you so much. So I already shared how you can connect with him later on the group chat. But in case you didn't get it, let me send it here as well. Let me send it here as well. So you can connect with him on Twitter, you can connect with him on LinkedIn, and you can also reach out to his website. Thank you so much, Gift. Thank you everyone for showing up in class today. So he said he's super honored to be with us. We are super honored to have you as well. Thank you. So any other thing? I think we can end the class now. So I'll just stop the recording and then we can end the class now.